Christians often say that Jesus claimed to be God, but if you actually read what he said, not what later theologians said about him, the picture is completely different.
All right, then, let's see it.
Jesus never once says, I am God, not in Greek, not in Aramaic, not even in metaphor. Every so called proof text turns out to mean something else when you read it in context.
The first issue with this is thinking Jesus needs to say, I am God verbatim for him to have actually claimed to be God. This is not the case. His actions perfectly prove that Jesus was God, and the fulfillment of prophecies perfectly prove that he was God.
Take John 10:30. I and the Father are one. Sounds divine at first, until you realize Jesus later prays that his disciples may be one just as we are one. He's talking about unity of purpose, not identity.
Okay, why are we being disingenuous? Because if you look 3 verses later on, the Jews said, You, a mere man, are claiming to be God. They knew that Jesus saying that was a claim to be God.
Alex O'Connor points this out often. Jesus isn't saying that he is God, but that he's perfectly aligned with God's will, something any deeply spiritual person could say.
Clearly, Alex O'Connor didn't read John 10:33 either, then making him wrong as well.
Then there's John 8:58. Before Abraham was, I am. Christians love to say he's quoting God's name from Exodus, but even if you take it literally, pre-existence doesn't equal divinity.
This isn't a claim of pre-existence. This is a claim of being God. He's not claiming, I am around before Abraham. His claim is, I am the God that was around before Abraham. I am is God's name. We can see this in Exodus. He claims, my name is I am. And this is what Jesus is claiming here as well. And we know this because, once again, if you were to read the verse right after it, the Jews picked up stones to stone him for blasphemy because it was a claim to be God.
But if you really want clarity, look at the verses where Jesus explicitly distinguishes himself from God.
The reason Jesus distinguished himself from God is because when he came to earth, he was fully man. He needed to rely on God because he was fully man. He needed to pray to God because he was fully man. All the things that he did not take away from him being God. We see in Philippians chapter 2 that he humbled himself, taking on the form of a servant. But we see in Colossians chapter 2 that he was still the fullness of the deity dwelling in bodily form. None of these things take away from Jesus being God. He gets a little long-winded at the end there, but all of his arguments are just typical atheist arguments about why Jesus can't be God, why there is no God, and it's all just circular arguments that don't actually disprove anything. Jesus is God. Jesus claimed to be God. Jesus will always be God, and you cannot disprove that Jesus is God.